The very worst men are great in the beginning. Don't ever be too sure. Let time show you his character, because 6 months later, you will realize he is literally incompetent, deranged, deeply insecure, and just the most horrific person you have ever met.
I keep seeing all these videos on TikTok talking about, oh, why don't the yearn no more? Men don't yearn anymore. They don't yearn for women anymore because they're yearning for the boys. They're gay. These are they like boys. That's why they don't yearn for women, baby.
You know, a lot of these modern women were in the area where they would continue to finesse men, getting free meals, getting your bills paid, getting flown out, getting stuff out of men and giving nothing back. That's done. That stupidity is done. That foolishness is done. Men wised up. They're looking back and saying, you know, I see what happened to another guy, and we're not going to be doing that. They know the game already. So when these modern women continue to try to run game on a man, it's not going to work. He already knows that, right? He's already seen the playbook. So that little era of you finessing men, you had a good run, but it's time to wrap it up.
What the heck happened to guys chasing girls? No, like seriously. I love asking couples and friends that I come across on how they met their boyfriend, and literally every freaking person just says, oh, on a dating app. What the heck happened? What happened to guys like being so obsessed with a girl that they see? They have an instant connection, and then girls play hard to get, and then the guy does anything in his power to win that girl over. Where the are these stories? Like, my dad chased my mom for so long, and literally every single one of my friends, especially the European ones, all of their dads chase their moms. I literally never hear these stories anymore. It's so sad.
And you know, a lot of these modern women, you know, they're thinking that they can continue on in this vein forever. But modern women don't realize that they're aging out. These clubs don't feel the same. You hear a lot of these modern women that go to the club and they say things like, oh man, I'm the old one in the club, and it seems like all of these even though he's an older man, like he's the same age, he's going for a younger woman. They're getting the attention that I used to, right? And you're kind of looking around, it's like, wait, what happened? That's what happened. Instead of settling down, you're still out here trying to play the game when you should have been laying in somebody's arms watching reruns of The Office and eating popcorn on a Friday night. But you're still out there trying to find somebody because you messed around and you played around thinking that you had all the time in the world.
Ran into a guy that I rejected in the 7th grade, and now he's super hot and he makes ambient rap music and he's kind of blowing up, and he had a Polish model on his arm.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I was wearing bike shorts as an outfit.
This happened to me. This one guy that had a crush on me forever, like, he has the hottest girlfriend now, where I'm just like, I would be trash to him.
Yeah, that's the thing, is I felt like in his presence, like seeing him again, I was looking at him and like the girls that were kind of like his entourage for the night, and I was like I would literally be scraping the bottom of the barrel. He told me that like I was the first girl that he like ever talked to, ever flirted with or anything, and I'm like, you've really come a long way. Meanwhile, I have not. I'm still dating guys that look just like you in the 7th grade.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video. A lot of these modern women, they watch too much TV, too many dating shows, too many talk shows, too many movies. They read too many books where it's fiction. It's a lot of fantasy. It's a lot of delusion. And they begin taking advice from these types of things. They take advice from their homegirls. But they don't really understand that their homegirls are single too. Their homegirls are single too. You're all single. You're all struggling. You don't have it figured out either. So why are you listening to somebody that doesn't have it figured out? It's like asking directions to somebody who's lost, which modern women are completely lost. Just going in circles together, just lost together, right? So at some point in time, I know you guys like to think that you have it all together, but maybe stop listening to people who suck at dating just like you do.
I see why look out, I ain't gonna lie. I would never, but I could see why you could be like, yo, this. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, on some human level, I get it, but don't do that, bro. Call your bros. That's why all my friends that get therapy. Fact.
Conversations.
Therapy is
Get a
gangsta.
mentor.
Yes.
Same thing with men. And
Yes.
like you said, men are the prize. There's some good men out there.
Yes, ma'am.
I would never say all men,
Right.
because that's not the truth, right? But again, you can understand why a man would walk out.
Right.
But you also understand how important a man's presence is
Yes, sir.
in a child's life and in a woman's life.
Mm-hmm.
So you chose positively.
You know, a lot of these modern women have rosters that they like to try to exploit. And when you're really cute, or, you know, you got a little something, you got a little motion going, and then you can pull that trick off. But, you know, like I've said before, this street life, this street worker life is, it's got an end date. It's got an expiration date. And a lot of these modern women are glorified street workers, right? And so they have a little roster going. They have a little backup plan, and they keep on pulling on the backup. But eventually these guys, they go on to do other things. And your little roster kind of disbands. It goes its way, and you got to get back to work. Once again, like Kevin Samuel said, when you get out of this life, and this line of revenue dries up, McDonald's, Burger King, those types of restaurants will be hiring.
I call myself trying to prep for the new year, so I did my clusters, got my hair braided 2 days ago, just got my feet done, put some press-ons on, and I have a whole man that didn't offer to pay for anything. And this is not to sound ungrateful or whatever, but it's like, you ask me, what am I doing? I tell you I'm at my braid appointment, or I tell you I'm at my feet appointment, my pedicure, getting a pedicure. Not one time did you send any money or anything. I'm in a whole relationship and I pay for my beauty stuff all the time. I don't get it. Do y'all get where I'm coming from, or am I just complaining?
A lot of modern women don't really understand this. There's no pension for being a 304. That's not it's not a life. You know, that's not a life that you want to retire into. There's no pension for it hitting the wall. It's not a life that you want to retire into. Again, at some point in time, you know, and like I say, you know, we all make mistakes. We all do some stupid stuff. The problem with modern women is they stay in that silly stuff for a long, long time. And then they find themselves not able to get out of it because they think that their standards, because they've grown, can outweigh their past. You can keep on dreaming. But like I said, at some point in time, you need to get out of that life. And I would say sooner rather than later.
Women in love are adorable. Men in love are idiots, okay? Sorry, but it's true. Let me explain why. Hold your horses. When a woman falls in love, it is cute. She glows, she giggles, she does sweet little things for you all of the time, and she posts you all over the place on her social media. It's a little Disney movie, right? But when a man falls in love, geez, he gets a little stupid. He starts spending money he doesn't have. He starts abandoning his boys, and he starts pushing aside his personal projects to spend more time with her. And all it takes, honestly, is one little hi with a red heart emoji from her, and he absolutely loses his mind. And to make it worse, he starts negotiating things he should never negotiate just to please her. He allows disrespect because she was just emotional. He breaks his own boundaries because I don't want to lose her. And then he lowers his standards because, well, maybe I'm being too harsh. No, to all of that. Love isn't the problem. Losing your self-respect is. Fall in love. Love deeply. Just don't turn stupid.
You know, a lot of these modern women, even though they, dress up and they look cute and all that stuff, they have a really bad attitude. And so they're thinking because they get dressed up and they look cute that, that attitude can go unchecked. But that attitude is not cute. It was never cute. You thought it was. You thought being difficult was attractive. Being hard to deal with was, he's got a prize. And as a person being a prize, I get to do whatever I want. No, you're not a prize. You're hard to deal with. And a lot of the brothers out there just got tired of it. Right. So that attitude that you have right now is pushing the good guys away. The ones that you continue to attract, Chad and Tyrone, because they're only going to be with you for, they already know you have an attitude, but they're going to be with you for like a night, maybe 2 nights, and they might hit you up here and there for whatever they need. But the little attitude that you have is getting you X'd out of the dating market.
And in my opinion, there are more women looking to settle down, looking for something serious. And I feel like the majority of men are not looking for those type of things, which is why there's an imbalance in the dating pool. We have all these women like, I want my husband, I want to get married, I want to be a mom, I want to, lock it down. And then the men in the pool are like, nah, I'm not trying to do that. Like, I'm still trying to be outside. I want to date multiple people, or they're just looking to hook up. They want to have a situationship. So it's no balance. So you see a lot of women complaining that the men in the dating pool, they're not attracting the type of men that they're looking for because men are not looking for anything serious. That's just my opinion. And with that, because guys aren't looking for anything serious,
if I could be honest, I see men complaining all the time. I can't stroll on social media without seeing men complaining about what women aren't doing. This is why y'all not married. This is why no man wants y'all for real. I see men complaining all the time. But the thing that gets me is, why are they complaining so much? Why are they trying to threaten women with, y'all gonna be alone forever? And it's like, fam, y'all talk as if men as a collective are doing something that a woman should want to marry. Now, as logical as they say men are, watch how what I'm saying go over their head. I am not saying there's not men out here who don't want something serious, but as a collective, when did we start wanting relationships like that?
A lot of these modern women, even though they're trash themselves, they want to build a bear man. You want to customize him. You want to change this, fix that, mold him into what you want him to be. But that's not how it works. That's not how it works. You don't get to build a man to your specifications. You either accept who he is. Now, he doesn't need to be a jerk, but you either accept that and, love him for who he is, or you get about his face. And I know a lot of modern women don't want to hear that because they want Chad and Tyrone to be smitten, to be stunned, to be shocked, to be just enamored with them. That's not going to happen. Oh, I'm just so stunned. I'm just so shocked by how beautiful you are. You might be cute, but there's 10 other ones right behind you waiting for my attention. Modern women don't understand that. You're not going to be able to build the bear that you want, build the man that you want. He's going to have some flaws. You're going to have some flaws. As long as they're not toxic and y'all are working on them together, I think you should be okay.
Masculine women do not attract strong men. They actually attract men that are comfortable with letting her lead. A masculine woman has to have control over everything. The masculine woman has opinions about everything. She always needs the final say. She struggles to follow leadership. And masculine men will feel this tension immediately, and he will leave. But the men who stay are usually passive, avoidant, emotionally dependent, because a masculine man is never going to compete with a woman for authority. A masculine woman always says, I'm independent, I don't need a man, but actually that means that I don't trust anyone to lead me in my life but me. And a healthy masculine, he needs her dependency on him so he can lead the relationship. And these masculine women are always complaining about the men that they're dating, calling them lazy, undisciplined, unmotivated, doesn't know how to lead. But those men did not appear out of nowhere. They are the men that feel comfortable enough to be in a relationship with her. A masculine woman can only sustain relationships where she's the decision maker, she's the emotional regulator, she's the financial planner, she's the spiritual leader, and eventually she just resents the man that she's with because she is the man in the relationship while he is passive. She actually really wants a strong man, but the irony of it is she is not the woman that the healthy masculine wants to be with. These women always complain that men don't know how to lead, but they only attract the ones that don't do it. Because strong masculine men do not compete with these women or argue with these women, they simply leave. So the man that you resent today is often the man that you train to be this way. Just remember, ladies, control always feels powerful in the beginning, but exhausting in the end.
And, a lot of times for modern women, what really hurts them is that men, a lot of times, as modern women see it, men will choose the boring woman. Men will choose the regular woman, the woman that might not be all that in your eyes, right? But he's happy with her. She might not wear a lot of makeup. She might not dress the flashiest and most fashionable, but that woman is good to him, and she's peaceful, and she helps him in the same way that he helps her. And so a lot of times now, men are choosing calm over chaos. They're choosing a life of drama-free, headache-free, everlasting peace, right? So you can sit up there and talk about how they should get him. Why couldn't I? She's easy. He's intimidated by me, and she's going to put up with his BS. And really, that's a coping mechanism. You're just a loser. You're just a...
Is it cheating if I kiss my best guy friend on the lips?
Well, you're going to be divorced. Like, it ain't even a question. What are we talking about? You don't even have a best guy friend. That don't even make sense.
Okay.
Is it cheating if I delete a message so my girl don't see it, even if it's nothing crazy?
Yes. There's so many things to that one we want to give it to.
Oh,
okay. Is it cheating if my exes, like, I don't follow him, but sometimes they come up on your feed, like video. Say it's my ex's video comes up on my feed, so I click on it and I make a comment.
What is the video of?
I don't know, something funny. So I'm like, haha, that's cute. Is that cheating?
No, it's not cheating. Is it cheating if I keep liking the same girl's picture?
Yes.
On Instagram?
Yes.
Yeah. But I never make a comment. I just like.
Why are you liking her pictures?
That's because of that wine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why are you liking her pictures?
I don't know. She might post good content. I like girls that work out. They might post good content. That's a good workout. I can do that leg workout.
He wants to be divorced tonight. So say I'm at the gym and a guy helps me with my sets. Is that cheating?
You do the spot?
Yeah.
And he's spotting you? Mm-hmm. Cool. Girls spot you. I don't spot girls at the gym.
Even if I'm doing squats?
Well, that's different. Well, if you're doing heavy weight, you need a spot.
So you're telling me right now you spotted a girl doing squats?
Never. I never spotted a girl doing squats.
So you spot girls what?
I've never spotted a girl, babe.
You're lying.
I've never spotted a girl.
So it's not cheating to you if a guy spots me?
On squats? I mean, we're talking about cheating. I don't think a guy should be spotting you on squats anyway, though. But
I'd love for you to come into the gym and see a guy helping me work.
I said not squats, but if he You saying sets. You mean if he helping you get this one set up on your bench real quick to try to hit your number you want to hit.
So if you walked in and saw that happening, you wouldn't care.
On bench?
Yeah.
Well, see, now I'm thinking about the teabagging you and shit. So I don't know about that. Is it cheating if I go out with the fellas and end up buying a drink for girls just to be nice?
This is getting stupid. Yes, you don't buy drinks for girls when you go out with your boys. That's cheating. Is it cheating if a man tells me I smell good?
I get told I smell good all the time, so no.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that it?
That's it.
Jeez, you would need to party game.
Some of these modern women, some of these modern women think that they're so great at being con artists, at being deceptive, that they run this whole game, right? But they think that men are stupid is really what it is. They don't realize that a man has looked at you from afar and he's figured you out. He's figured your game out and he's saying, oh, okay, well, I'm going to get what I need to get and I'm a split. I'm going to get out of Dodge, right? You guys are not as smart as you think that you are. Continue to say all the time. You're not as smart as you think you are. It's just that men aren't paying attention. Men's interests are elsewhere. Their focus and their attention are elsewhere. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that can be debated. But they're over somewhere at work, doing something, hanging out with their friends, trying to live life, trying to give you the same respect that he would want you to give him. Right? So a lot of times you get away with stuff that you probably wouldn't if he starts to pay attention. And when he does, then you have a problem. And not all the time does it have to do with cheating. Sometimes it's you're a trash person. And when he really locks in and focuses, he sees that. And so when he just up and leaves and moves all the stuff to another apartment, that's going to be why.
I still think there's more marriage-minded women than marriage-minded men.
Whoa, what was that? You don't agree?
Yes.
Yes.
We've been through this before.
Yeah.
You
And don't you love how consistent I am?
You're very consistent. I will give you that.
Cool. So my point is that there are more marriage-minded women than marriage-minded men. Notice how I said more. I did not say all women, most women. I said there are more marriage-minded women. And the reason why I say that is because of the purity culture complex that a lot of women have. And inside of purity culture, whether that came from the church or just came from society, that tells you what it means to be feminine and what it means to be marriable. Women grow up with this idea that their value comes from a man. So they will do anything to get picked by said man. They want to be in long-term relationships with men more often than men want to be in long-term relationships with women. In part because men are not told that their value comes from being picked by a woman. They're told to climb the ladder, and then you're then able to afford a wife. And it's opposite for women. We're told to get married, don't center your career, don't center doing other things, stop being a hoe and find the man and then be able to do all the career stuff when he allows you to do it after the kids are in school.
I was going to say that I think women are being taught the opposite. I think women are being coached more out of purity culture. I'll tell you why, because women are being taught that they can do everything. They can have the career, have their life, and have the man at the end of the day. That's not true. They're being taught the wrong things. And so when they want the marriage when they're older, they're not going to get it because that's not what men want. They're not being taught the right things. They're not being taught. You're saying women are more marriage-minded, but they're not doing the things that is worthy of being marriageable. That's why a lot of guys aren't marrying though. So they can't be they can't be more marriage-minded if they're not being taught the value of marriage when they're younger. They're being taught the opposite. They're being taught, by the culture and getting everything they want, having the career, being independent, but then not needing a man, but then also that doesn't make any sense. It's kind of it doesn't make any sense.
happens a lot of times with modern women who have these high standards is that they don't pay attention. They don't pay attention, and they don't really see that the competition around them, it heats up. The competition around them gets serious. The man gets himself together, and women like that. And so there's a woman out there that understands what a man is trying to do, and she says, I like where you're going. I want to go that direction too. How about I hitch my wagon to yours? And modern women think that they have all the time in the world, right? They think that they can be masculine. They think that they can be a strong, independent woman for the rest of their life. But like I said, you have women out there that are getting themselves together. Women that are making themselves ready. Women that decide maybe the 304 life isn't for me, and they don't get into it. Or maybe a woman that might have an experience, maybe a couple of times, right? Maybe even a handful of times. And she says, there were some things that I used to do back in college that I'm less than proud of. It's not on the internet, but I'm less than proud of what I used to do. And so I'm just looking for a man to love me and kind of respect me and care for me. I've had a change of heart. And she finds that man. She gets herself together and she finds that man. And she doesn't withhold. She gives him, everything that she has. She tries to provide for him. She tries to nurture him, respect him, follow his lead, cooperate with him, and all those other things. All you modern women continue to raise your standards and continue to look down on her and look down on the man who got with her because they're living happily and she settled. She's a baddie. She is a baddie. She's pretty, but she's a baddie because her attitude is good. She's a baddie because she realized, I do understand that my past is, I was doing some weird stuff. I was out there doing some weird stuff. And so I got to accept that. He knows that. And he does accept that. It does make him feel uncomfortable in some ways, but I'm not expecting a millionaire. The man makes $50,000 a year. He's a good guy. He's moving up, working his way up to supervisor. In about 10 years' time, that man becomes a supervisor and a manager, and he's making a little bit more money. All you modern women are still out there talking about what you're not going to settle for.